Hello, we are live with Interchain Live. This is Ryan Munn from Vermont on here talking today with Ajit and Dhanraj of TrueMeds, a pharmaceutical track and trace solution. I'm really excited to share their background and vision and the products that they've been working on. So thanks for joining us, guys. Dhanraj, Ajit, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Ryan?
Great, thanks. So, Dhanraj, you and I have just gotten to know each other just a little bit here. So tell us a little bit of your background, kind of what brought you into the space that you're in today.
Pardon, Ryan?
I said if you could share a little bit of your background, where your sort of experience comes from and what brought you to the position you've got today working with Ajit.
Okay, so basically, I have around 18 plus years of experience into software industry, and whereas I have worked on banking finance applications, and since last 4 years, I'm working on blockchain technology. So I have worked on blockchain for artificial intelligence, with artificial intelligence, AI, and IoT. So I've worked for WiseBit as a security device management system, where the whole architecture, it was the first implementation of IoT, AI, and blockchain, and other cryptocurrencies applications. I have created my own blockchain for one of my customers, and I'm working with Ajit sir as in CTO over here, where my responsibilities are to take care of all the technology part over here. And whereas we are working on Java, we are working on blockchain, we are working on multiple domains like banking, finance services. We are working on retail. We are working on e-commerce. We are working on AR, VR. We are working on blockchain solutions.
Excellent.
True is one of the solutions which we are going to explore today.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you've got a diverse background and you understand how all of these different sectors cross over with technology. So that's key.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Ajit, share with us a little bit. You have a book out. Tell us a little bit about your background and kind of what's bringing you to work on these solutions.
Sure. So I have pretty much now close to 2 decades of experience in IT. So started with building device drivers and those low-level programmings, and then went on to building mobile applications for enterprises. So pretty much I cover the complete stack, if we can use that word. So whether it's those time-critical things, or whether it's like enterprise, pretty much I all those last 20 years. So in 2008, basically, I had always wanted to do something which can actually impact the society, the community, right, and have certain solutions which can actually create or have that level of impact. So with that, I did start my first company, Walking Tree, in 2008, and I ran it for 10 years. And for last 3-4 years, I have been actually watching this space of blockchain, especially. And because I was always about like what kind of solution that we can actually build and take it to the community or society, which actually because one thing which has always been concerning, though we have so much of IT advancements, is that how we can actually trust the IT solution, the solution itself, right? So because there are so many incidents like this Facebook, the Equifax, those incidents being reported every now and then. So big question is like, is there a way that can we trust the IT solutions itself, the solutions where we are actually keeping all our data, critical data? So this trust has always been a question for me right from the beginning. And so when I started getting into the blockchain space in the last 3 years, I slowly started to see that this is a technology which can actually help me realize that and help me build certain solutions which can actually be trusted by people, and where actually the trust plays a major role. So with that, so I came out of my previous company and started Pipper Solutions, focusing more on building solutions that people can actually trust, and hence it can create more socio-economic impact.
So remind me, when did you form Pipper Solutions?
So legally we registered in 2017 September, December, but then it started from 2nd January 2018. So
Okay,
that's my first employee besides me.
gotcha. Awesome, awesome. And TrueMeds has been sort of the lead project for Pipra from the beginning. Is that right?
Yes. So the moment I had my first, I would say, first two people joining, so I started working on this concept because why TrueMeds, I think we'll come to that, but I think that was one area where I always wanted to create that impact where we can actually look at saving lives, which is getting wasted because of the fake medicines which are out there in the market. So, and with the technology around, I was very confident and sure that this time, since people have been trying with various anti-counterfeiting solutions for last 3-4 decades, this time I thought like we have a technology support that can actually get us out of that problem. And they started working very seriously on that with the team around.
Absolutely. So now, how did you guys meet? Did you meet recently and bring Dhanraj onto your team, or have you known each other for a while?
So we knows each other for last more than 6 years, I think, close to 6 years. So as part of Walking Tree, Dhanraj joined us as a solution architect,
Yeah.
and he worked briefly with us before he had to move to a different city. So
Gotcha.
that's how we got connected. We get to know each other, and we learned about each other's way of working and all that, right? So
Yeah.
we had that connect at that point of time. And so after that, Dhanraj went on and he started his own company, and I had so when I came out and started Pipper Solutions, so I was looking for somebody of his kind to actually lead the effort on the implementation side, especially related to the blockchain area. And he had like all the required experience of a solid 3.5 years of experience in delivering solutions. So when I talked to him, by that time he had already implemented 20 solutions in blockchain in different spaces. So I said, okay, now probably is the time. Can we get together? And it worked,
Awesome.
and that's how we are
Awesome.
here.
Now was blockchain part of the conversation right from the beginning, Dhanraj, or when did that enter the conversation with you guys?
Basically, I started blockchain when 2014, around 2014.
Okay.
I was interested before the Bitcoin price was a bit high because I always try to learn new technologies, new languages come into the market. So I have got introduction of blockchain for one of the IT security provider, like home automation and security provider, who are basically trying to communicate communicate their IoT signals with the blockchain and apply AI to understand the pattern and provide more enhanced level of security. So I have got around 4 years of experience into AI, like 6 years of experience into AI, 2 years of experience into IoT, and blockchain is around 4 years. And rest my background is on Java J2E.
Awesome.
So,
Now,
so
what's the name of your company, Dhanraj?
pardon?
What's the name of your company?
Okay. Right now, I'm associated with Pipra Solution itself.
Yep.
When I started, that was Defrozen Soft.
Okay,
Uh,
got it.
4 years back, I mean, like it was a 4 years back I started, and then when Ajit called me, then I joined as a
So you've rolled it all together now. So you've
yeah,
joined in a
yeah,
partnership and taken everything you built from that and brought it together.
absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's get into TrueMeds a little bit more. I want to definitely see the background a little bit. I'm going to pull up and share my screen where I have the TrueMeds website up. Oh, call me a liar. Hang on a second. I had it up.
Sure.
And there we go. Sharing now. Okay. So just real quick, before we get into the demo of kind of what's going on in the back end, you guys have some cool stuff built out you're going to share with us today. But I want to just take a quick look at TrueMeds and share with sort of the general audience what they can find online. to hop in and see what you guys are doing. Now, this site is pretty straightforward, yeah, walk us through this. So we're looking at the landing page of TrueMeds. What are we sharing with potential benefactors of this technology?
Yeah, so so to be very frank, Ryan, the website is I would say very simple, and we wanted to keep it simple for some time because the technology itself is like people are taking some time to absorb it. So what this website currently what we have put together is that it will tell you like, okay, it is more from the manufacturer's perspective first.
Yep.
So they are the main sufferers, and they are the main, I would say, going to be the main beneficiaries of the platform.
Right.
And once they come on the platform, then it is the end user who is going to be the main beneficiary. The patient, the consumer who is going to consume or buy that medicine. So that's why this is totally from the manufacturer's perspective, and hence it says like how you can actually grow your revenue. And then how you can protect your brand and things like that. And then we actually talk about a high-level overview of like how exactly the solution functions or works. So the journey, let's say, starts from the manufacturer printing the QR code and sticking it on the medicine.
Yep.
So it can be at any level, like whether they can stick it on a strip or they can stick it on a pallet.
Yep.
Box.
And now your solution plugs into whatever their existing label printing solution is, or if they're using some kind of RFIDs, you could easily be plugging your signature onto that RFID, in which case that would become the tracking tag.
That's right. So, however, right now we are focusing only on the two-dimensional barcodes or the QR code. So, because this is something which is certainly the cheapest way for people to get. So are focusing on some of the Indian customers, and the cost is certainly something that was a primary, I would say, design goal of our solution. We didn't want to add any additional cost to the existing solution that already manufacturers are using, right? So rather, we wanted to simplify things, reduce their current printing cost for the QR codes, their cost on the complete track and traceability solutions. So that's the reason we picked up this QR code to start with. And yes, as we let's say, I would say, diversify, then we can bring in different types of devices which can help us with better, I would say, tracking and traceability.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. And so now as this goes through, the QR code might be added to a batch of medicine as it goes into a facility, and then new codes will be printed as that gets broken into smaller packages and into bottles that go to pharmacists. And then when the pharmacist prints out a prescription bottle label, that would presumably have its own code on it that would further delineate that tracking of the pills down through the supply chain.
That's right. Yeah. So as the QR code travels through the supply chain,
Lost you again. We got an internet cutout, I think.
So then they are basically, so if it is not a patient, then pretty much the ownership of that medicine is transferred to that particular participant. But if it is an end user who is scanning that QR code, then it's considered to be sold. So that's how, like, the very simple application app interface, mobile app. There is one version for the participants, and there is one version of the app for the end user.
Okay.
And, yeah, so we'll get to that shortly when we look at the demo.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And so it's really, you know, yeah, your website here is simple, but it's really pretty simple on the surface as far as the user interface and, you know, where the participants get to interface with the QR code. It's all fairly simple, and it's not actually that new from what we currently use. It's just the, as you mentioned earlier, the better reliability and trustability of the data that we're getting.
Exactly. So idea was that we didn't want to change a lot from the workflow perspective, because introducing any change in let's say industry is not a easy thing, right? It's a costly and time-consuming affair. So one, we did not want to change a lot from the existing workflow, and second is that we wanted to bring in current, though, as I said, like though there are anti-counterfeiting solutions out there, but then we wanted to bring in the trust aspect, we wanted to bring in the immutability aspect, we wanted to bring in some of those core aspects of the technology that actually tells that yes, if you are getting provenance information from this system, you can actually trust that. If the system tells that this is not the right medicine, then you can trust that actually. So that's the line we wanted to have.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So let's jump off of the website here and let's get a sneak peek that you guys are going to share with us about the back end, and take a look what you have for us there.
Sure. So I think while Dhanraj is sharing his screen, so essentially there are three parts to the application. One is the dashboard that we will see, which is a real-time dashboard. Right now it is a public dashboard, so anybody can actually look at that information. And then there is a mobile application. So we have two versions, as I said, one for participants, one for the consumers. And then the platform itself, which essentially takes care of the track traceability, generating the QR code, and GS1 compliance, and all those features basically.
Gotcha. So this dashboard might be available to the manufacturer to be able to monitor if there's something happening in their supply chain, but this would also be available to regulators that need to be able to check these things, and you could have an automated system running that detects reportable incidents and notifies appropriate regulators. Oh. You guys there?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's right. So the one is like, so we try to put some relevant information which would be useful to, let's say, the law enforcement agencies to frame their policies. For example, let's say on a map, we project that, okay, these are, so people can actually see that where geographically where more fake incidents are occurring. And hence, let's say the force can be deployed, or certain those specific policies around where to deploy, what kind of action needs to be put in place, or what kind of monitoring has to be there. So all those kind of activities can be certainly implemented and governed by the platform. And with real-time events integration, yes, we would immediately notify the law enforcement has suffered. Right, that's the process today. But yeah, with this, they can come to know about the event happening in real time, and then they have a way to respond.
All right. And, you know, I'm realizing here, too, that I may have forgot to mention at the very beginning here that you guys are both joining us from Hyderabad, India. So I might have missed that, but I see it on the screen here. It just reminded me. And I also wanted to ask, so the incidents that we're looking at here, is this a live client that you guys are running, or is this a simulation that you ran through the system?
Okay, so basically this dashboard right now simulated devices which are at different geographical locations, and then when we start that simulators, basically it will give you the real-time how the system work, real-time feel that how the system work, and then you can see the recent incident. Right now you just see the Hyderabad, whereas you can see the different cities over here to get the actual look and feel, and how the actual system will work when we start implementing the system with the manufacturers, basically. So let me start with the dashboard. What are all the components we have right now, and then how we it's pretty self-explanatory, and like as we see here, it's total number of manufacturers which we have registered are 3, and if you want to see the details, we can. I'm open into new tab. Meanwhile, I'll go through the other components. So we can see the number of manufacturers, what are the details, name and address and other things of the manufacturer. And so far, only 6 fake incidents have been identified or captured. and 76 unknown incident. So when you see those unknown incident into the map, it will give you in the marker with the yellow color, whereas the fake incidents are with the red, and the other transactions basically with this color, green color. And here we are capturing the recent incidents. Let's say which location, which geographical location this incident has been happened from the GPS. We are using the Google API for the same. And these are basically the number of fake incidents has happened. So number of has been happened, or up to now only 6 incidents has been identified. Whereas total number of
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, what's the difference between fake and an unknown incident?
Okay, so fake incident is basically which are registered with truemeds. The manufacturer had given the data, the QR code has been printed from truemed system, and those are being scanned as a consumer twice at different location. That is one case. Or the same QR code is being tried to resell at the same location. Let's say I as a medicine supplier have copied the QR code and tried to duplicate the medicine, and I'm trying to resell the product, right? So in that case, we will capture that particular event as a fake incident. And as we discussed, ownership, or I as a Ranbaxy is manufacturing one of the medicine, okay, let's say Crocin. Now that, or a paracetamol, right? That paracetamol I transfer to distributor A, and I transfer through the system, right? The complete ERP knows that, and ERP integrated with the truemed system, which captured that particular transaction into the blockchain, which is immutable, and that's how the security starts. Now, that particular medicine cannot be available with any of other distributor or any of the other stockists in the market, right? And that QR code, which is, let's say, transferred to a hospital or transferred to a retailer, and retailer sell it to a consumer, that particular flow we are capturing into the map view of the medicine records.
Okay.
Here we have the number of medicines which are available with the truemed system. That I'll walk through of each of these steps as well. But let me finish with this one. So total number of events so far has been captured is 126 around, and the unknown incidents are 76, as you can see over here. So this three chart basically indicate the number of incidents, number of captured event, and number of unknown incident on those medicines.
Yeah, they're more of like a KPI kind of chart, you can say, for this platform. So let's say if a manufacturer or if this platform is put in place, ideally we should see the fake incidents going down.
Right.
And capture events should be going up. So this kind of will tell us that, okay, is the platform achieving its goal or not?
Right. And now, in theory, some of these pharmaceutical companies are already employing some kind of a track and trace type solution. And so you could really be taking their existing interface, plugging your API in to provide it better data. And so they have more transparency and more reliability to that source.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
And this is pretty simple API integration with to the manufacturer. They don't, as we are following the GS1 standard, they don't really need to do much changes on their existing process. They just need to pass the GCP number, which they are already having for their from the GS1. GS1 is basically the global standards for supply chain management, and they have the track and traceability as well. So any export quality or any of the product which is being manufactured, they must have a honor of that manufacturer, which is identified by the GCP. And the product unique identifier is known as G10, which is also provided by GS1, and we are just capturing those data which are already there, existing there in their existing ERP system, right? And
Yep.
here we are also capturing the detail of the medicine, like what are the composition, and those details we will see in this tab.
So
And
is GS1 something that you have to sync up with regularly in real time to keep up to date with what they're defining? Or is it like an annual release of data that you'd have to import in order to update your system's compliance with the GS1 standards?
GS1 is basically a global standard for supply chain management. So this is a kind of non-profitable government body which regulates the supply chain management. There should not be any issue with the product. There should not be any issue in the supply chain with the product. There should not be any issue with the manufacturer. There should not be any issue in the distribution ship. So they provide the GLN to the distributor. They provide GCP as a unique identifier for to the consumer, manufacturer, and GTIN as to the product. Along with that, they basically capture other detail. Let's say what is the legal name of manufacturer, what is the address of manufacturer, so that they can basically regulate that and then can take a control of whole supply chain management, basically.
Okay.
So,
And you guys can push all the way down to the original ingredient sourcing that goes into the manufacturer to become the pills, to become the distribution.
Yeah, exactly.
And does GS1 currently track and provide those serial, GTIN numbers and GCP numbers for all of the source ingredients and materials that go into pharmaceutical manufacturing right now? Or is there really a level that you would have to at some point go, oh, the standard, we can sort of improve the standard by enhancing the depth that the supply chain visibility goes?
yes, so GS1 is basically so it outlines the spec that how a material traveling through a supply chain, crossing borders, moving across country, can be tracked and traced completely. So that's what their primary agenda is, and for that they offer designate unique identifiers to identify a manufacturer, identify a country, identify a manufacturing plant, and identify a particular product. In this case, it will be, let's say, a medicine. But so they provide that elaborate specification, which gets implemented in different systems, whichever needs to be GS1 compliant. So if you look at US now, in US it is mandated to have every drug manufacturer to be GS1 compliant. In India, for example, it is mandatory only for manufacturers who are exporting medicines from India. So it is not mandatory for if they are selling medicines inside India. So GS is being mandatory for manufacturers to comply with, but the level of adoption is still not something which is like complete in every place. It is at different levels. Somewhere it is become mandatory, somewhere it is partial, somewhere it is still not there, kind of thing. But
gotcha.
Yeah, but this offers that elaborate.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I think it cut out a little bit. Did you say GS1 or GSR?
GS1.
GS1, so number 1. Okay, and that's global standards, the number 1.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Cool. So yeah, so what next in the platform? What else do you have to show us here?
Absolutely. So we have second tab as manufacturer over here. Let me go to this. We have already opened. We have manufacturers which we have captured, and we have captured their address as well. That Arvindo Pharma is in Hyderabad, it's in Mumbai, and this is also again in Mumbai. So these 3 companies, medicines, which we have registered. So far we have two number of medicines, Crossing, Advanced, which both are from the Cipla. Arvindo haven't registered any of the product with us so far. So we can see the details of medicine along with the medicine name, manufacturer name, and their composition. Composition is basically again a standardized composition which is already available on that particular strip of medicine, right? So that also we are verifying in the data, that saying that okay, what are all the the medicines which are there is the same or not. Then let's move to the incident. Okay, so here we will be capturing. Okay, before moving to the incident, I would like to have a look at the map over here, where we can see what are all, as we are seeing number 76 unknown incident, 6 fake incident. So fake incidents are marked as red color, and as the same location the unknown incidents are there. Here you can see the 6 fake incident, but as at the same location we have also run the unknown incident, so they are just behind it. We can scroll, zoom in, and then we can have look on it. Or I'll give a demo that live, that okay, how the fake incidents are being captured and displayed onto this map. And now this is completely telling me that okay, these are all the location where we have more number of on this area or on this region. Basically we are getting more number of unknown incident, whereas less number of true incident. In this area there is no unknown incident, this area there is no unknown incident, this area we have identified an unknown incident. So all over the India, lot of unknown incident, because lot of medicines which are not registered with us. That indicates that one as of now. Now let's have a look at the incident.
So for right now, you're importing some real live data, but you're not in production with this system, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because right now we haven't go on Google
Yep.
with this application, so we are simulating this data
Okay.
with
So
some different.
gotcha. So if you basically added another pharmaceutical into the inventory, you'd have less unknown incidents at the moment because they would align with the new pharmaceutical that you imported.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So the unknown is just a disconnect of the data. It's not that something's funny happening, but you're not sure. Maybe it's fake, maybe it's not. It's purely just a coincidence of the data right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that manufacturer. So we are basically following the, as again and again I'm telling the GS1, because for strictly following GS1 complaints, and GS1 complaints is that this manufacturer must have that GTIM, this must manufacture, sorry, GCP, this manufacturer must have an address to produce the medicine, and this medicine must that particular medicine records. As we are scanning an unknown QR code, which is not which data is not fed by the manufacturer, we are saying that okay, I don't know about the origination of that particular medicine, and that we will see in our next step, which is an incident. That if I know the origin, if I know the who is the owner of that particular medicine, I can make sure that okay, this is a genuine medicine or not. If I don't know the origin, I'm saying that I don't know about this product, basically.
Got it. Okay. Excellent.
Let's
Now,
look at
we're
this.
talking a lot about manufacturers, but I'm curious, would a pharmacy be able to implement and get benefit out of your system, even if their manufacturers or not all of their manufacturers are using it? Could they use it for all of their products and the labeling that they're providing? Oh, did you hear my question? I can't hear you. Hello, hello. I see you moving. Hello? Did we lose Dhanraj? Did your system crash on us? Hey, Ajit, can you unmute?
Yep, I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
All right.
I think Dhanraj, the screen stopped sharing too, so maybe he's got a system error.
You want to just unshare and share it again, Dhanraj?
There we go. Oh, yep, he's disconnected now. There we go, coming back. Nothing like a little live, real-time, technical difficulties.
So yeah.
No worries.
Okay, so I'm sharing the screen again. Sorry about that.
So no, it's okay. Did you hear my question about pharmacies? Should I repeat it?
Yeah, basically, pharmacy is also the part of the whole process where the manufacturer is the one who is basically inserting the primary information of that particular medicine, and the transfer of ownership is being transferred to the stockist and to the pharmacy and to the consumer.
Right.
So
So,
here in this case,
so
here
my
in this
question,
case,
my question was, if a pharmacy wants to use your technology, but not all of their manufacturers are using it, do they have benefit to get on there, and can that even help push the pharmacy or the manufacturers to implement this technology?
Yes. So see, so two things that we. So one, there is an online pharmacy which is now picking up a lot. Let's say. So for that, certainly there is a support in the system. And they are one of our primary, I would say, customers, and that detail will shortly come on our website as well. So online pharmacists, they can actually make use of our system to generate, because they so QR code, stick it on the let's say the box which has all the medicines for a particular customer that they're handing it over, and then that can actually initiate a small supply chain from the online pharmacy warehouse to the patient or to the customer who has placed the order. So that can actually be very useful. And same way, the pharmacy shops, they can utilize this as well, where they basically become the starting point of the supply chain. So whoever essentially prints the QR code from our system by providing the required medicine detail, they basically start the supply chain, and hence their supply chain can become completely trackable and traceable on this platform.
Gotcha. That's excellent. Excellent.
absolutely.
All right.
Here, I'm just having a look at this particular fake incident, which is with the medicine ID. So this medicine ID, along with the batch number.
But we are still somebody seeing your dashboard already. Not sure if it's just me. The screen is not changing.
Let me stop sharing again and then.
Yeah, just stop sharing and share it again.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. So basically, right now we are seeing that 6 number of fake incidents as we were seeing on the dashboard, and then 76 number of unavailable transactions. Unavailable transactions which does not have any origin. You will just see one mark. I'll just quickly show you this one first, where basically that incident has been captured.
And that's provided from GPS data on their phone? Is that provided by GPS data on their phone?
Yes, it's basically captured the GPS of that particular end user. Here, if we can see, I'll zoom it. This U represent unknown over here, and the detail of that particular medicine is not available. So
Okay.
here, mouse over, we are not seeing any of the detail of that particular medicine. And then it just showed the only one location, because I don't know from where this medicine is being manufactured. I don't know where it's being transferred or where it's been audited or not. I just know that, okay, this incident has been happened somewhere near Hyderabad and Andhra Pradesh border.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whereas while we try to look at the fake incident, I know that this basically medicine is being manufactured see the name of manufacturer over here when I mouse over that this is a Cipla Limited who has
Interesting.
the manufacturer. Now here I can see the Bharat Medicine is the one. So if you see this T marks says that the transfer of ownership has been completed from Cipla to the Bharat Medicine. And here Bharat Kumar is an auditor. A represents the auditor.
Okay.
Kumar, auditor near Indore warehouse or somewhere. He has basically audited the medicine, and this green mark says that this medicine is true, a valid medicine.
Okay.
Here again is transfer from Bharat Medicine Ahmedabad office to Bharat Medicine Nagpur office, and then it's a valid transaction. Whereas here, if you see, let me scroll it up. Sharad Mehta is the person who has basically buy that medicine as a consumer.
Okay, so it's been sold there.
It's a valid medicine he has got. Now, again, as Sharad Mehta rescanned that particular and like he went to somewhere else and he found that, okay, because I want to purchase a medicine, and then he found that as a fake. So this F represents the fake medicine in somewhere near.
Right. So at some point there, the real medicine got sold in the black market, and then the original container was attempted to be sold and passed off to a real consumer with the fake product in it.
Exactly. So it's near common. This is identified as a fake. And also the second time it has been again consumed, let's say at somewhere near Mumbai, right? So this represents that after this transfer at Nagpur, everything was green, and after this something has happened. So we can capture this guy or these two guys to give the right answer that how did you get this medicine, how you have produced the fake medicine. So these are basically the culprit of introducing fake in the.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, that's an incredible tool. Hey, so we've got to cut short here. We're running out of time, but I really, is there anything else that you really need to get out on this, or have we really hit all the points of the back end here?
Yeah, I can quickly show you the backend for the same. Okay, let me open here itself.
No, it's okay. We can leave some mystery. I think you guys have really hit on all the things that are really important to the potential clients of this, manufacturers and pharmacists, and ultimately we need consumers to be pushing their regulators and their suppliers to be providing this level of standards. So I think it's a really good demonstration of what can be done with this technology.
Yeah, so this is basically the interaction for the manufacturer. They just need to provide so first they need to register as a manufacturer, and they just need to provide three things: TCP, legal, and the address. And that's how they can register with TrueMeds application. And now, once plant, so they just need to provide their GNN number, address, who is the owner, who is basically the manufacturer, and what is their coordinates for the latitude and longitude where they are going to produce that particular medicine.
Yeah, gotcha. Essentially the set of APIs that we have given for any upstream or downstream integration with existing workflows out there. And depending on the level of integration that a manufacturer is doing, they may have to use one or more APIs. Best case, I would say just one API is good enough for them to be on this system and have the complete track and traceability. Worst case, maybe 5-6 APIs, and that will give them more possibility of further automation.
Gotcha. All right. Excellent. Well, hey, I really appreciate you guys taking the time today. By the way, what time is it there?
It's 9:35 p.m.
9:35 p.m. All right. So it's about 11 o'clock here today in the Eastern time in the United States. So I really appreciate you guys staying up late. and joining us, sharing your incredible project and service that's available now. And this is available now. So I really encourage people to reach out to you guys and to myself. So first of all, how can people get in touch with you besides contacting me? That's certainly welcome. But how can people get in touch with Pipper Solutions directly and look into using TrueMeds?
Yep. So if you look at contact us on the TrueMeds website, the email directly comes to me. So so that's I think the best way to reach.
Perfect.
So you drop a message to me, and then I would make sure that I respond to that quickly with all the required information that would be needed.
Awesome.
And yep. And if you go to the Pipper.solutions website, then you can certainly find. I would say the phone number, the WhatsApp number, which you can always.
Perfect. Oh, we lost you for a second there. But we have mutual connectivity challenges between Vermont and India, but we've managed to use technology to have a great conversation today. So thank you guys both for joining us so much today. Folks, go out there, check out truemeds.io. That's TRUEMEDS.io. Full disclosure, I do have an agreement with these guys, so we are working together to promote some business and adoption of the technology here. And you can reach out to me. You can check us out online, interchain.live. That's interchain.live, L-I-V-E. And we look forward to the conversation with you in the future. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ryan, for hosting us.
Thank you.